We move to Nigeria, where the mental health of abducted children and their families in Nigeria has called for concerns amongst stakeholders. Now, as a result, experts have called on all relevant agencies to provide necessary mental health support for survivors and their family. Now, News Central's Omolola Ololade has more on this.
The epidemic of kidnapping is one symptom of social unrest across Africa's most populous country. Since the well-publicized abduction of 276 schoolgirls from Chibok Secondary School in Borno State in 2013, more armed groups have resorted to mass abduction of pupils and students, among others. Prayer, faith, and hope may have helped the families during the time of despair as they wait for the return of their wards, but they will certainly need more than these to deal with the trauma that comes with the situation.
At about 6, I received a phone call that they have entered the school, kidnappers, and all our children are packed, including my daughter inside.
They said, take your children to the school. They will be safe there. We trusted them, and our children were abducted. The government did nothing, and when we asked for help from abroad, when we try and speak out about what happened, they try and stop us. What else should we do?
However, for each abduction, kidnapped families and victims can have long-lasting damaging psychological consequences and sometimes ruin the survivor if left unchecked.
The implication of abduction on the mental health of the girls is huge. First and foremost, they're going to be dealing with anxiety, with trauma, and that's one of the major battles they will have to face. And there's also what we call in our field PSTD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. And this comes always after an awful or painful experience.
There are not enough organizations doing work here, and that's what we will try and encourage. And that's probably why this visit is important, because sometimes people get a sense that, you know, Chibok is somewhere far away. Do you understand what I'm saying? But, well, we're here, and there are people here and who require a lot of help.
The fight for those that were kidnapped does not end when they are released, rather begins when they come home and deal with the potentially devastating psychological trauma. All relevant agencies, therefore, must ensure that victims and families treat the fear that translates into trauma so as not to create a generation of mental health needs issues. Omolola Ololade, reporting for News Central.
All right, so that's a report from News Central's reporter, Omolade, looking at the mental health impact on the victims who've been kidnapped, and indeed their families. Also had a bit of experts also giving their thoughts on the kind of post-traumatic stress disorder.
PTSD.
Yeah, some of them may be experiencing.
And it's a sad situation because in the country now, I mean, report has it that from December of last year, 2020, to now over 1,000 people have been abducted, and at this point a lot of Nigerians are trying their best to ensure that safety is one of the most important things the government is looking at. I mean, it has almost become a thriving business in some forest in the northern part of Nigeria, and people, the abductors, the abductors release one set of people and another set of abductors kidnap those set of people. So it's a business that now people are crying out, and the government needs to do their best.
All right, so stakeholders are calling for mental health to be looked at for the families and these victims of kidnapping, because if we have people being taken into the bushes and coming out, how far about their health going forward? Well.